How's everybody doing? I know it's been an extremely long time since I last put up a pepper video. As some of you might have known, it was an extremely bad year for me last year. One thing just led into the other. So I didn't put up any pepper videos, and that's because I didn't grow last year. The first time in 20 years I didn't grow any peppers. But this video is not just seeding. It's a bit of personal info on what's been going on. So I always try to start my seeding usually February. That gives me 3 months before they go outside in May. And last year, Sue passed away, and she passed away in April. And coming up to the seeding time, she was on a lot of medication. I had to leave work, had to keep an eye on her, and it wasn't her illness that was really causing a lot of her problems. It was the medication. High doses of painkillers. She was having seizures. She would come out of a seizure, not know what was going on. So it would be 2015 in December. It was starting to get so bad that I left work, and so I was off work. Sue and I had a couple of really good months, just the two of us together hanging out. So I didn't do any seeding whatsoever, no planting, no nothing. And then in April she passed away. Took me quite a while until I was ready to go back to work. I went back to the place that I didn't go back to the place where I had left from. I went back to the place previous to that and was there for 5 weeks. Loving it. I loved that job. I love the people there. And then I shattered my knee. And I thought I had twisted it. So it took me, I think it took me about 4 or 5 days before I actually went to the doctor with this shattered knee. And I only went because of my family. My parents and my sisters were really on me about going to the doctor, saying it's more than a twist, more than a twist. But one of the reasons why I really didn't want to go to the doctors was the pain of getting up and even walking a few steps, let alone getting in a vehicle and heading out. I really didn't want to put it that way. So I ended up going to the doctors. I won't get into that. But, got sent home from the doctors. I got some needles and whatnot for my twisted knee. And then now we're up to about a week past of my shattered knee. And it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. So I finally go to the hospital. I get an x-ray, which I should have done the first day. And it was a shattered knee. So I'd been walking on this shattered knee. So instead of just having a shattered knee, I really did a lot of damage. So the day I went into the hospital for my x-ray was the day before the Canadian Thanksgiving. And because it'd been a week later, I'd been walking on it, it was so bad. They had to call a surgeon in on a Thanksgiving to work on me. So that was great. And I've been off work since then because yes, I can walk around, I can get here and I can get there, but what I can't do is really carry too much. my knee just gives out on me. I guess it's still being done. That was silly. It just gives out on me, and I don't drop all the way anymore. But what I do is I fall about halfway, and if I have anything in my hand, that's coming down. So basically, yeah. So that's been the last year. Coming up again to April again, so it'll be a year since Sue passed away, and it'll be 4 months since my operation. So it's about time that I get out and get going. I'm not really going through, so that's my personal life. I'm back going to be growing this year. I'm not going to be going through my soil mix because everybody has a different mix. I've got the videos on my starting seed mix. Like I say, this is more of a chat and catch up, get myself back out there. These seeding trays, Sue had bought for me. She was at the garden center and they had these new deep propagator type things. And I always like to try something different for me every year. What I have noticed just by opening them is they're nice and square, but they're not as deep as the actual seeding trays that the black that most people are used to doing. And for me, with my seeds starting, I like the roots to go down deep. When I'm growing inside in my grow room, I'm going for a nice deep base root system. So we'll see how this works. The actual area is bigger, but I think the roots are going to go out a little bit more than down. So I might have to transplant a little earlier than I do, but we'll see how that goes. I'm in my laundry room right now. This is what you're looking at, and the reason why I'm in here is, one, because of mess. Two, I've got a heater just above my head, not a heater, but a heating vent. So this is actually the warmest room in the house, especially right now it's not going, but if the dryer is going, this little room in here is it's like a little hot box. And that's why behind me, I'll show you before we go, I don't know if you can catch a corner of it. This is the room that I have my grow room in. It's all the space that's underneath the stairs. It was a dead space, so one of the first things I did when I bought this place is convert a room into one of my grow rooms. I ended up, after the first year, putting garbage bags across, because there's a little window down here. It's down in the basement, so it has one of those cell windows. I put garbage bag and cardboard across the window. Because I'm not growing anything illegal, I didn't think about the light escape. I'm not doing anything that I need to hide a grow room from. But what I didn't expect was, I don't know if it's some or one of the neighbors ended up calling the police, saying there's a grow room in this house. And because I had just moved in, I guess the people in the area are worried about, what's going on in their neighborhood. So the police actually came, and they were kind enough to give me 24 hours. They said, there's been a complaint called. We don't have a search warrant, but we are letting you know that we're getting one, and within the next 24 hours we'll be coming and checking it out. So I said, no, come on in. And they said, well, you realize, sir, that once you let us in, we don't need a search warrant. Anything we find, you can come across. I said, yeah, no, come on in. So they came in. I brought them downstairs, showed them could see the light coming through from the grow rooms, because again, I'm not doing anything illegal, so I don't have my door to the grow room completely sealed up, hiding the light. So they came in, they had a look around, they opened up the door, and I think I probably had about, at that time, probably 300-400 little seedlings going, just still in the black trays. And they see the seedlings, and they look in, and it turns out, of course, it's hot peppers. One of the officers, his brother-in-law, was into hot peppers. So he said, "Do you mind if I call my brother-in-law?" And I said, "Sure, go ahead." So he called his brother-in-law and started reading off some of the names. And it was the first year that Ed Curry had sold. I mean, there'd been years, I think 1 year, maybe 2 years, that he had given seeds to different growers to get the seed population up. But it literally was the first year that the Carolina Reaper had come out on seeds. And in Canada, they weren't, it wasn't that the seeds were illegal, it's just because the first year, I don't know if it's the FDA, whoever it is, they hadn't okayed the seeds for transport across. I think you were allowed to have them in Canada, you just weren't allowed to transport them to Canada, if that makes any sense. So anyways, when his brother-in-law on the phone, when he said the Reaper, I could hear over the phone his brother-in-law says, "Not the Carolina Reaper." And I heard that, and I said, yeah, I've got the Carolina Reaper, Pupper Buck Company. So he ended up coming by my place. It was probably, this is the brother-in-law, came by my place about 3 months later when the seedlings were transplanted and now little cups, and grabbed 2 plants off of me. And we don't talk on the phone or like weekly, but once a year he gives me a call up and says, "Hey, what do you got going?" And he shoots me a couple bucks for some starts, which is kind of neat. That's one reason why I really like the pepper community. I was on Reddit for a couple years, met a lot of people in the area, and I think it was 4, maybe 5 different guys. I said, "No, this is my address. Come on over." And they came over and picked the peppers when they were all ready, and took them back to their place, made their sauce, did whatever. I haven't been in contact with any of them, and that's just again because of what happened shortly after that with Sue passing away. So hopefully by getting my videos back out there again, we'll get back into the pepper community. It's the same if you're a beekeeper, if you're any sort of gardening, and I guess stamp collectors, whatever. You get in a community and you get to know. You feel like you get to know the people, and it's nice. It's not you're not only knowing people you work with or your regular families and friends. You get to know people, new people. And it would be great if here in this area, I'm in the Niagara region, Ontario, Canada. It would be great if we could have, like a hot pepper growing community here. Meet up once a month, whatever. Even in the middle of winter when there's nothing going on, it would be nice to keep in touch with and meet new people and see what they're doing and the newest, what's happening, what's going on. Okay. Now with the black trays, every year I say, because right now I'm going to plant some Reaper seeds, I would put 9 in. I'll have my one label, and they're separate. I don't need to label them all. But doing these with the ones that Sue gave me, I think what I'm going to do is I've got these little sticks, and because the Reaper just happened to be the first one I'm planting, with the Reaper, I'm just going to put a number 1. And now that way, every one that I plant that's a Reaper, I can just, on my little wooden sticks, I can just put a number 1. And it's not that they save these. I've got loads of them. I think I got 300 off Amazon, and $4.99, $5.99. And if you're in the States, Amazon basically is about 2/3 cheaper, so you'd be doing better. It's just the fact that the way the light, if you have them all, the big ones in all of them, you get shadows on your seeds. So I don't know how my germination is going to be this year, because all my seeds are 2 years old. I didn't plant it all last year. So the good thing about gardening, put 1 in each. Actually, you know what? I usually only do 1 in each because I don't like separating. But these are such big. I will put 2 in each. The good thing about gardening is even if you have 1 seed, not that I'm only going to get 1 on these, but if you only have 1 seed, there's your seed stock set up again for next year, because 1 plant will give you all the stock you need to continue on. There's some seeds here, these brown packs. These are 4 years old, and whenever I buy or receive new seeds, I always keep either 1 or 2 seeds back, just in case something happens. Like if grow room, if the light goes down, and I not that I wouldn't notice it, but let's say I was away or something like that, and the light went down, and I lose all my plants. I'm always going to have a little bit of backup. Because of what happened not growing last year, I realized that keeping 1 or 2 seeds back is not an option. You've got to really go a lot more than the 2, because in these ones that I actually bought, again from Papa Buck, some of them have one little seed sitting in the back. I have the seeds just sitting in my hand. When I put them back in the container, I really have to make sure that I have wiped off my hands completely. If not, if I've got 1 seed sitting there in the palm that I didn't notice, it's stuck to my hand because it's damp or something, then the next batch of seeds I empty out, I'm going to have them mislabeled. And most of the peppers you'll be able to tell as soon as they start ripening. But that a lot of them you can't, so it's best not to. Best to keep them nicely clear and separate. And any seeds, none that's happened yet, but it's happened in other years. Any seeds when I am dropping down, if they fall, I keep those and I'll plant them, and they're not labeled. And I label them not labeled. I don't just not put a label in it, because if I do that, I can think that, oh, the label blew away, what happened, what are they? I put actually a label in it saying not labeled, and that goes into my hot sauce, goes into my paste I've been making for years. So I'm not wasting any of the super hots. They are going where they're going. Okay, Reaper 1. This one already labeled. Okay, we don't have to go through all of these. Excuse me. The Reaper, the Reaper dust that is even in this container. It just got into the room and hit me on the back of the throat. So once those seeds are in, actually, I'm going to put the last, just a stick here too, so I know that I've seeded that one. I don't push my seeds down. I just cover up. And then I just tap down. For any of you that do make it to the end of this video, I've got, it's nothing big, it's nothing huge, but I have just a small giveaway, and because it's small, it's light, I'm willing to mail out anywhere in the world that the Postal Service goes to. So if you bored with this video, because honestly, growing the super hots, same thing with anything. It's a pretty niche thing, and I can sit here and watch videos of other people doing whatever I'm interested in over and over, even though I've seen it 100 times. I just like to watch, and you sort of feel like you get to know the people if you spend a lot of time on YouTube. So I'm gonna shut this off. I'm gonna get all my seeding done, and then I'll show you what you're doing. But yeah, stick around at the end of the video, and like I say, it's nothing big, it's nothing special, but it's basically a little thank you for people. I lost quite a few subscribers by not putting up anything last year, which is fine. I'm not really here for subscribers. I'm here to do my thing. And honestly, instead of me just sitting here seeing all by myself, I kind of feel like I'm talking to people. So yeah, I'll get everything seeded, and then I'll be back in a minute. And sorry for me getting up here. It's okay. I got my seeds planted. Basically, I'm just pushing down extremely softly. Just make sure there's no air pockets. These two trays I've already got done. And then my mister, I've got just a little bit of mycorrhiza powder, which is in the soil already. That's mixed into my seeding start. I realized while I was putting all these tiny little tags in there with the numbers that I'm going to be able to, just in case I lose anything, I can follow along until I get to my next tag, so I know what everything is. In my book, I've got all the numbers written down. So basically, it's a three-way safety net, just in case any of the tags get lost. Got it in the book, I've got it on the plastic, I've got it there. And I always just miss the dome also. Now there's a bunch of different ways to germinate. Some people put it on top of their hot water heater. I've got a heat mat here. But for myself, I've got a bunch, well, I won't say a bunch. I've got 3 of the plastic little indoor greenhouses. I've got a 2-tier, a 3-tier, and a 4-tier. And they heat up like you wouldn't believe, almost too well. You've really got to keep an eye on them. And that's what I always use to germinate. It's in the front window. I'll put them in there. And if it's a really sunny day, I will open it up, because if not, it's just too hot. So that's me done. As I said at the beginning, this was more of a basically a chat, let you know what's been going on with me, and I said that there's going to be a little tiny giveaway. Um, the Sriracha To Go company, they have the keychains where you can bring your hot sauce with you. I'll open one up. If you win and you get the one that's opened, you understand why. Comes with a little clip. You can bring your hot sauce wherever you go, because most of the times when you go to restaurants, you know, your hot sauce could be limited to Tabasco. You can bring your favorite sauce, whatever your sauce is, make it yourself, let's say. Keep it in here and bring it with you, and you've got your hot sauce with you. The other thing is my company, Niagara Heat, which basically last year, again, everything's been down because of what happened. It's a little bottle opener. So you can have yourself a beer or a pop or whatever you're into. So I'll be sending out 3 different sets. You get yourself a little hot sauce carrying thing, a squeeze bottle, and a little beer opener. Okay, all day today upstairs I've been marinating chicken in a suicide marinade. So for the first time I'm actually going to be doing a cooking thing also. So to get in here, make sure you comment on this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit a thumbs up. I know there's not really much to hit a thumbs up to, because this wasn't really an instruction video, but if you were interested, you can go back and look at my other seeding videos on the soil and everything I use. So yeah, to get in, I think what I'll do is at the end of March 2017, I'll go through the comments, I'll print them out, I'll put them in a bowl with the names, and I'll pick it out. And if you are one of the winners, you know what? There might only be 3 comments. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. And if that happened, hey, you're a guaranteed winner. But if you win, then we'll go through Messenger, the YouTube Messenger, and I'll get your address and we'll mail it out. Okay? I hope everybody had a good day. I'm going back upstairs to finish off my dinner, and like I say, I'm making a video of that. That's what I do. I work in restaurants. I hope everybody has a good day. Again, please thumbs up, subscribe. This year I'm basically starting all again fresh, so you get to see how I do all my soils, everything like that. Okay, thanks a lot. I know it was long, it was good. Thank you for listening. Everybody have a great day, and hopefully your growing season is going to be excellent. Thanks a lot, guys and gals. Bye.